Hey, and thanks for tuning in to Reglam Features. My name's Joshua Susi, and today we'll be talking to Reshel Shah Kapoor, a documentary filmmaker and professor of film studies in Dubai. Reshel recently traveled to Mumbai, India, where she spent time with transgender women to try to unpack the stereotype. Reshel recently produced and directed a documentary called The Black Sheep Documentary. Let's take a look. This is Maria. Maria was once a boy. One day, she worked up the courage to tell her traditional Indian family about how alienated she felt in her own body. Things turned ugly quite quickly. Her family hit her and shaved all of the hair that she had been trying to grow out. They then poured gasoline all over her body and told her mother, her own mother, to go get the matches. They believed she would have been better off dead. Her mother stood in the middle of the street, crying, incapable of doing what was asked of her, to her own child.
लड़का हो लड़की हो या कोई हिजड़ा भी हो, हाँ। लेकिन लड़का लड़की नहीं देखना चाहिए, उसके अंदर कितना अपने लिए प्यार है।
मेरे ऊपर घासलेट डाल दिया था जलाने के लिए, बोलती उससे अच्छा ये जिंदा रहने से अच्छा मर जाना चाहिए।
मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मेरे को प्यार हो तो उससे मैं क्या करूँ कि चाय वाले लड़के के साथ मैं शादी में, वो मुझे सबके सामने एक औरत लेके घूम रहा है।
Let your free flag fly high. Let your free flag fly high. Let your free flag fly high.
So how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Good. Just a bit tired, but
fair enough.
Sorry, I pushed it back by an hour because I was watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, fair enough. That's okay. You seem to develop a very strong bond with Maria. The scene in which you were telling her about her mother, it honestly made me tear up. So, are you still close with her?
Yeah, we are still very close. She's still like my little sister, and I think even though there's a film, there's still a relationship that was built through it. And it's not just Maria. I'm still very close with Minisha and Kaif. And the fact is we call each other Didi, and Didi in Hindi means sister. So there's always that appreciation. But yes, with Maria, I'm still very close with her. I'm actually we are in the process of trying to put her into an English school for 6 months. So it'll be 6 months of training because we still aim to get her that goal of her becoming a lawyer. But it's a long process. So for now, that's the first step for her. Of course, she's in a different country to where I am right now. But we'll always talk on the phone, even if it's a WhatsApp message or a Facebook message, there's always something.
Resh tried to contact Maria's mother. Maria's mother answered pretty coldly. Resh figured that she might choose differently had she been given a second chance. But it wasn't the case. Minisha, the project manager at a nonprofit, found love in a man that accepts her for who she is, all the while knowing that she is transgender. But not everyone is that lucky in these types of cultural contexts. When Maria's mother refused to contact her daughter, you began to sob and called your mom. What was it exactly that upset you?
I think it's because I was brought up in this blanketed world where my parents didn't necessarily expose me to real life situations, should I say. We only saw it in films, so that's where we thought it really just stayed. So I think when you're actually going through it and when a mother actually rejects wanting to see their child, it puts you in that real life situation that you never thought you could be in. And the thing is, I'm really close to my mother. So knowing that someone doesn't want to see their child based on cultural aspects just confused me, and I think that's why I really just wanted to speak to my mum at that point.
Your mom calls you Betta. What does it mean?
Beta means child. It's I think it's a Hindi word. I'm not too sure. But and funnily enough, it's the male version of child, not the female version. And it was just so funny because we were just brought up on Beta and not Betty. Betty is a female version.
What did you appreciate most about the time that you spent with Sneha's lovely family?
Oh my God, they're so amazing. That family is just so beautiful. You know, as much as the conversation went on, and what you see in the film, I think, is no more than 7 to 8 minutes. We were there for 8 hours. But what I appreciated were two main things. Were the fact, apart from the fact that, of course, they accept her, that appreciation is there. But what I really appreciated was the grandmother. There was generations of acceptance there, not just a mother. And the second thing was the female empowerment in that room. That was like absolutely beautiful, that, you know, there was these aunties, there was Sneha, there was a grandmother, and they were all just trying to say the same thing, which is we believe in equality. And I thought that was just absolutely beautiful for me.
Kaith is an aspiring fashion designer. Her designs were used for the photo shoot that you organized for the women. Could you tell me a bit more about working with the photographer and the women?
So the photographer we worked with was an up-and-coming photographer called Div in Mumbai. And actually, she was our behind-the-scenes photographer for the film. And when we were just in conversation about this, I just approached her and said, is this something you want to be part of? And she said, absolutely. Now, everyone that comes on board isn't doing it for money, because this is literally a micro-budget documentary. So it's a pure independent film. So it was the passion. And the passion she had to say, I want them to feel beautiful. We wanted them to feel that they are models, that, you know, models give off this semiotic that they are beautiful, they are, you know, that they're high-flying, fashionable people. And they're important. And especially when you've got hair, makeup, you feel it. You feel that importance. So we wanted them to feel like they are just as beautiful as every other person, and as beautiful as a model can be. For the photography work, what we really wanted to compose with it wasn't just the dresses, but a message. So the message of freedom. So, for example, in one of the shots, you've got Maria, and she's opening a bird cage, but she's looking out. So the idea is of this bird leaving their cage, which is very much how people who want to change gender, what they go through, they feel like they're in a cage.
Here's a preview of the fashion shoot directed by Resh, photographed by Davina Reiki, featuring designs by Kaith. How did India compare to the Bollywood films that you watched as a young girl?
So different. Bollywood films show a lot of sets and color and beauty. One thing that did stand out was the colors. I felt the films didn't show, which is absolutely fair, was kind of like the people, if that makes sense. There were so many different characters, so many different personalities, and actually everyone was so lovely. But how Bollywood films portray transgenders have always been in the very stereotypical way or a very negative way. Right. And that's not how they are, clearly, in Mumbai. But they are judged, which is clearly again seen in Bollywood films.
Resh is trying to have her film played at Toronto's International Film Festival in September of 2016.
So I've submitted it to Toronto International Film Festival. And one of the reasons why I really want to get in is because they are really known and support independent filmmaking as well as diversity, which is exactly what this film is. Like, if you really look at it, Canada, America, Europe, UK, the label, the tag has, the idea of gender change has become, its awareness has grown. In India, it hasn't. So it'd be great to see a film festival pick up a film that was based in a country where that whole identity is clouded. It's currently in consideration, which means they're going through the process to see if it gets in or not. Listen, if it doesn't, I understand. It's not the first film festival it won't have gotten into. But if it did, touch wood, I think could do really well there, because it can open up so many doors. And again, I promised these women I'd give them a voice and carry their voice. So to carry it all the way to Canada would be beyond amazing.
Thanks for watching. If you liked our interview, then you might want to consider going to the Toronto International Film Festival website and sending them an email letting them know that you want to see Resh's film there.